Yeah, stage side, where Pulse is going to have a word with Elements Froggen.
Thank you very much. I'm here with Froggen to talk about his victory over the Copenhagen Wolves. Now, it was a very convincing win, but you still had a lot of problems there. How do you fix these things when you start going up against the likes of Fnatic and a Gambit, who you will be playing in the next couple of weeks?
I don't think I'm the best one to answer about the lane swap thing, because I'm just one-on-one in mid, so I don't really see too much what's going on, so it's hard to tell right now.
Okay, so I do want to switch gears a little and talk about the meta. We're now on 5.13. Lots of changes in terms of the item builds and specifically mid lane item picks. How much has this changed your opinion of mid lane? Do you think any other new champions are going to come in?
I think it mainly just made a lot more champions viable than before. Like now you can actually just go for Tia and Catalyst and mana-heavy champions, and you can still have a lot of end AP. And you will actually get it quite early because Rod and Surf are both giving a lot of AP right now. So I think it just gives more viability, but it's like still a lot of the same champions that's strong.
Okay, so you talked about the lane swaps and some of the issues in the team and couldn't quite comment on that, but we're looking now towards playoffs where you will be playing some of the better teams. How do you think the Elements are going to fare in the best-of-5 format?
I don't know, because we have never played one, so it's hard to tell, but like practice and everything has been looking a lot better the last 2 weeks than it has looked before. Maybe we didn't get to show it in this game too much, but we have been improving, and hopefully we can just show that in the next upcoming games and then prepare for playoffs if we make it.
Well, the improvements have definitely shown themselves, Froggen. Congratulations once again on the win and for taking the time to talk to me. We're going to shoot it over to the analyst desk to talk about the rest of that game.
Thanks so much, Pulse. Froggen not oozing with confidence, and maybe rightfully so.
I agree. I actually think that when we look at that game, Elements took a very long time to close it out. I just want to contrast it to the likes of SK, who beat Copenhagen Wolves last week in 29 minutes. By 20 minutes in the game, SK, who's currently in 9th place, had a 5.6 thousand gold lead. Elements, 1.2k. It was a win. It was a very important win. I feel it could have been better.
Let's drag it all the way back. We're talking about the end of the game all the way. Picks and bans is where I want to start this one out. Copenhagen Wolves, they got some comfort picks. The Kalista picked up for Freeze. We know that's a good pick for him. Soren onto the Azir, Shook on his Lee Sin. These are all picks that Copenhagen Wolves should be comfortable on, but they had no real hard engage to lock down anybody on the Elements lineup. So even in the fights where they managed to somehow get 1 or 2 of the carries out, they just had no real way of closing out a fight effectively.
None whatsoever. There was no, safe wave clear, and with the amount of poke that Elements had on the map, it made it very difficult for, even Soren just to sit in the mid lane with that Azir and clear the waves out. I want to give some praise to Froggen's early game. He had very successful roams with that Varus, picked up multiple kills, and it's not something you associate with Froggen. He does roam, but he rarely has an impact when roaming, and today that was the opposite.
Definitely was, and you actually called Elements as your outsider for getting still into the playoffs, and we have someone who tweeted at us and agrees. At Zayen tweeted, Elements have clearly struggled this season, but never underestimate Froggen to make a comeback, kind of like the reverse caster curse, because his Varus was honestly very good. But then Elements, after getting a lead, they did, as you say, took a while to close things out, and it showed, and the Copenhagen Wolves actually almost got back in that game.
They really did. We have a replay that will highlight that moment if we can pull it up onto your screen. But again, the scary thing, this is after 30 minutes worth of gameplay. Look at your minimap. You can see that Elements, they are stacked in the middle lane, but Rumble is not with them. So it's going to take some time for him to teleport in. And Shook's very instant engage is still no teleport. Still no teleport. Finally, the teleport comes down. I think JWoww should have come in earlier. And unfortunately, because of his late TP, Copenhagen Wolves get a few early kills.
Yeah, looking at how that fight kicked off as well, Nif earlier in the game had kind of flayed back Shook every time he tried to do that. This is the one that got through. A lot went Copenhagen Wolves' way. The Azir ult kind of nudging people in for a triple taunt with the Shen. It was a sign of life from Copenhagen Wolves. That's how they should at least be picking up team fights with these comfortable picks. Unfortunately for Copenhagen Wolves, just things didn't gel. Really weird spots in team fights where Lenny and Cast are stepping forward when they're low health. Cast fires himself back out, just to try and knock somebody up when he's already dead. Just no real decision-making when it came to staying alive for the Wolves.
Yeah, a difficult situation. The Wolves are now getting much closer to that automatic relegation. For Elements, their record is now 6-9. If you assume Roccat lose to Fnatic, if you assume Gambit lose to Origin, That's going to be 3 teams vying for that 6th spot in the playoffs with a 6-9 record. So a lot is still to play off actually for these teams. I'm just sad that Froggen had so little confidence in that interview because I think it is a bigger sign of what Elements are trying to overcome.
Yeah, but still very exciting at the middle of the table. And as you said, the Copenhagen Wolves, if they go 0-2 here this weekend and SK picks up at least 1 win, that means Copenhagen Wolves are in that auto relegation spot. In a few minutes, SK Gaming will take to the stage as they are up against the Unicorns of Love and their refreshed lineup. So we're immediately going to see an evolution there as well. We'll be back to cover all the action right after this.
You have to go deeper. You have to start at the Froggen deduct jokes. I had people spam, can you please put rank back up again? Like, I'm like, yeah, sure.
If gonna send a hook, lands on Freeze, but he's got the spell shield on. Shook goes in, Equalizer's gonna burn him down. It's Froggen who actually gets the kill credit and shot through the heart by Froggen. In comes Dexter, looks for Lenny, he goes in, he goes down.
Virus. Nice. Don't 3, don't 2. Run. Rek'Sai. Don't Scorpion. Go. Rumble. Nice.
The Wolves come late to the party. In comes Freeze, in comes Lenny, in comes Kaz, but they're just gonna serve themselves up on a plate. And Elements come up with the win.